Hello everyone, welcome to episode 53 live with Sirus Migration. My name is Isuru Yapa. I'm an Australian registered migration agent. We've got quite a few things that we would like to discuss with you today during the live session. There are so many updates, so many concessions from Department of Home Affairs that we would like to discuss to educate you more and give an overview of what we've been doing last month and what's coming up in near future and what it'll look like in next financial year as well. So thank you for joining us again, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel Sirus Migration, I would like to invite you to hit that subscribe button right now, and also the bell icon, so you'll be notified each time when we release one of these videos with latest immigration news. We've produced a couple of really good videos last couple of weeks. If you haven't gone through, one of the very good ones talks about the skill migration program for next financial year, or the overall migration program for financial year 2022-2023. So that's a very good one to check up. And also I've done a video on 482 applicants, 482 clients who are already in subclass 482 or 457 under short-term skill migration list. They have good concessions and pathways that you can go into 186 or 491 to get your permanent residency. So I think you should check those out, and I'm going to talk about some of them today as well. So let's have a look at what we're going to talk about today, overall plan. So we're going to talk a lot about the concessions available right now, and then we'll talk about the next steps afterwards. So if we talk about skill regional concessions that are available for us right now, so if you're in a 489, 491 or 494 visa, there are quite a few concessions available for you, especially if you were outside of Australia between 1st of February 2020 and 14th of December 2021. We call it the COVID period. Then you have options to extend your visa for 3 years, so which is a very good news that gives you enough time to meet the requirements. And the next concession was for family, and this is a really good one. If you applied for one of the visas, a child visa 101 or adoption visa 102, prospective marriage subclass 300, or partner visa subclass 309, and you applied before 24th of March 2021, and if you were in Australia on 24th of March 2021, and then you can have this visa granted while in Australia. So normally our clients who applied for these visas, if they were visiting Australia on a visitor visa or any other visa, for you to be granted, you normally need to go outside of Australia to have this visa granted. Right now, if you meet that 24th of March requirement, you applied before and you were in Australia on 24th of March, you can be granted while you're in Australia, which is a very good news, so you don't have to go outside. And the other part also, if you were in a parent visa subclass 103, contributory parent 173 or 143, then if you applied for these visas before 24th of March 2021, and if you were outside of Australia on 24th of March, then you can apply, you can have the visa granted while you're outside, so you don't have to come inside into Australia to have this visa granted, which is another good thing. So you can fix everything up and come, and then you don't have to apply for another visitor visa or something to come to Australia to have this visa granted. That is a very good concession and an opportunity for applicants in family visas, parent and partner visas, to have their visas granted. Mario, if you were to go into the next point. So, we all know about the conflict between, or the situation in Ukraine right now with the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. So, as a goodwill, or what I can't come up with the right word, as a token of support to Ukrainian citizens. If you're currently in Australia and you're seeking further stays in further safe haven in Australia, Australian Department of Home Affairs has given an opportunity for Ukrainian citizens currently in Australia to apply for a temporary safe haven visa for 3 years, and that visa also allows you to work and study, and also on top of this you will also have access to Medicare during this time period as well. That's another great news, and one of the very good updates we had last couple of weeks was permanent residency pathways to temporary skill shortage clients who are in skill shortage list. So if your occupation was in temporary skill shortage list under 482 or 457, and if you were in Australia for at least 12 months between 1st of February 2020 and 14th of December 2021, and if you also meet the TRT pathway for subclass 186, then you can apply for permanent residency. So let's have a quick look at before I go into this, I just wanted to reiterate that I've done a video on this a couple of weeks ago. So if you went to Sirus Migration YouTube channel, you should be able to see this video explaining in detail. But if you're currently in skill shortage, temporary STSOL list, short-term skill occupation list, normally you don't have a permanent residency pathway if you're currently working under a 482 or a 482 visa, and you don't if your occupation is in short-term skill occupation list, then you won't be able to apply for a permanent residency. You can keep on applying for 2-year visas, but not permanent residency. But if you were living in Australia working during that time period, then you should be able to apply for permanent residency through 186 temporary residence transition. So you have to be. I have been contacted by many clients who were in 482 during this period, but some of them, the scenario I picked up was they were in the visa, but they've been working for multiple employers. So bear in mind, if you were working for multiple employers, you will not be eligible for TSS program. So then you'll have to wait till you complete the 3 years with the current employer. So whoever the employer that you were working at at least for 1 year during that period that I explained before, that was 1st of February 2020 to 14th of February 2021, then you should continue to work. If you have not completed the 3 years, then you can apply. And also another good thing too, you do not have to complete a skills assessment for this visa. When you go for 186 visa, you only need to complete your 3 years, have the competent English, and you can apply as long as your employers happy to nominate you for that visa. So that's the 482 update. Next update that we're going to discuss today, the huge news we had last couple of weeks, the federal budget and the migration lookout for financial year 2020, 2023. So Australian financial year goes from 1st of July to 30th of June. So it's around the corner now. The second quarter's already started a few days ago. So from 1st of July 2000, gonna hit that button. From 1st of July 2022, this is the migration lookout or the migration program for this year. So overall program remains as 160,000 allocations altogether, but the significant change is the skill sector opportunities or the allocations has gone up from 79,600 that was allocated last year, the current financial year, to 109,000 this financial year. I don't want to spend too much time on each category because I've done this video. You can go and have a look at it. So quickly, skill breakdown is again, as you can see in the screen. If we go to the next slide, skill breakdown, then we can also see the parent, child, and the family visa breakdowns as well. So I think that's pretty much it for this one. I want to show you some of the results from yesterday. It's been a huge month last month, and yesterday we had quite a few grants, and wanted to get your attention to us because we always talk about what are good, and there are some myths out there. The global talent, like when I speak to clients, they always tell, is it true that global talent applications no longer getting processed, or everyone's be very quiet about it? This is what we got to see yesterday. So we had quite a few student visas granted, global talent independent visas granted, work visas granted, and this global talent independent visa that we picked up again Digitech from ICT sector. So to our experience, we continue to apply for expression of interest for global talent independent clients, and we're getting quite good news for most of our clients. So in this instance, this is again been a Digitech client. So let's talk a little bit about global talent independent visas. So global talent independent visas eligibility is a very quite fast process to permanent residency, and quite relaxed requirement set as well. So the eligibility criteria is quite straightforward. This visa can be applied through expression of interest. So the expression of interest to invitation process can take quite a while, as it stands right now, due to the increased number of applications. So when we look at the global talent independent the current grant criteria, we're getting grants invitations for clients where who we applied last year around July, August. So if you were looking at why my visa's not, my expression of interest did not get a response back from the department yet, So that's an indication from our experience. But looking at the actual program, Global Talent Independent Program can be, you can participate to this program if you were in any of these target sectors. So there's 10 target sectors. So that doesn't mean, as I always say, you don't have to be a technical partner on this. So for an example, if you're in agribusiness, you don't necessarily have to be a farmer. You can be, in some sort of expertise in agri sector, or if you're in defense sector, you don't have to be a front-end soldier. So you're looking at defense skills in global talent defense skills, or you can be a defense equipment manufacturer, or someone who's predominantly working this target sector. Some of our clients can be eligible for more than one target sector. Some of them, especially when you're looking at fintech or financial services, we spend a lot of time to understand whether we should pursue through the digitech sector or finance sector, depending on their skills and what they do more sort of criteria. So to be in Global Talent Independent, you need to be nominated by an Australian citizen or an Australian company who's also an expert and has a global expertise in this target sector. And then with that nomination, you can apply for your expression of interest. So you need to be working predominantly in one of these target sectors. You need to be earning higher than Australian high income threshold, which is currently 158,500, or and also you need to demonstrate that you have been have global exposure in that target sector. You have been awarded with global recognition, so you've been writing into global journals, international journals. You've been providing, sharing your knowledge in global expos, etc. So you don't have to fulfill everything, but you have to demonstrate you have the global exposure behind you and expertise in that target sector behind you. Or you can also be a recently graduated PhD client as well. So that's Global Talent. Once you get the invitation, once you apply for this visa, expression of interest, it can take a couple of months to 6 to 12 months sort of thing as it stands right now. And then once you get the invitation, you can apply for your visa, and the visa process is quite fast process. I've seen grants within a couple of weeks to 2 to 3 months sort of thing from the invitation. So Global Talent again is a great visa. I'm not sure if we prepare the slide for new concessions for 188 888, Mario. Have we done it? No. So there are concessions available. This is outside of if you go back, so there are also concessions available for applicants going from 188 to 888. Normally when you apply for 888 visa, this is for business visa clients who already has a business visa, and you have a requirement when you apply for your permanent residency after meeting the 2-year or 3-year requirement, depending on when you applied. Normally, if you held a 188 visa, I think before last year 1st of July, I can't remember the exact dates. The previous 188 only required you to perform your established business in Australia for 2 years. And right now you're required to, and the overall visa was granted for 4 years. Right now you have to demonstrate it for 3 years out of 5-year visa that you get granted. So The current requirement requires you to apply for the main applicant is required to spend at least 1 year during the last 2 years in Australia. So this has been reduced if you were this has been ignored if you had a visa during the COVID period, and then from 1st of February 2020 you were overseas and got stuck with your other business affiliations, so the residency requirements been scraped out, so you can pretty much apply it for 888 visa as long as you can still justify your turnover within Australia. The turnover requirement again is varies from state to state. For business visa clients, the minimum requirement you're required to have is you need to show that you have a current business within last 4 years, at least 2 years. You had the turnover over $750,000, equivalent of Australian dollars to your country. So regardless whether you're from France, Germany, Italy, Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, if you had a business, this visa is not about your education or your English level of English or anything like this. This is about your business skills. So if you can demonstrate your balance sheets and the financial statements shows that you have a business operating in your home country or internationally, and and you have the correct ownership of that business, and the business turns over minimum of $750,000. So the ownership requirement is if you're required to own majority shares of the company, or if the turnover is over 400,000, then you only need to have 1/3 of the shares. So you can use up to 2 businesses as well. So it doesn't have to be one business. Some entrepreneurs have multiple business interests. As long as you have that you've been involving in that business. I'm talking about 188A visa right now. And then you also have to demonstrate between you and your spouse and your business together. You need to show that you have net assets worth $1.25 million Australian at least. That once you fulfill those 2, then it goes back down to a point system. You need to score at least 65 points. Quite straightforward. You also get points for your age as well. Age can be up to 55, and if you're beyond 55, there are also pathways for clients as long as you demonstrate strong business skills. You get a 5-year visa for yourself and your partner and your family. Kids below 23 years of age, then the whole family can, and as long as they're still dependable on you, you can all come here. Family you can start a business. You don't necessarily have to buy a business. It depends on your business forecast. Different states got different requirements. Talk to us anytime. We can help you further to understand what's more suited or how you can be eligible for the state that you're planning to travel to. So 888 is the visa pathway to get into to your permanent residency once you're there. One of the good things with 188 visas, you get it for 5 years. You have the freedom to do whatever, and your kids can go to school, public schools, and you don't have to pay extra money for their kids' studies. And then as long as you fulfill your requirement for the 888 visa, you can apply right now after 3 years. So one of the very good visa pathways for people who's got business interest or business background. There are other pathways with better concessions, less requirements to go to AAA, where you can you're able to invest at least 2.5 million. You can go into 188B visa. 5 million you can go into 188C visa, also being called significant investor visa. These visas do not require you to run a balance sheet. It's more investment visa, so you come and invest in certain categories, and then you can apply for the permanent residency after you fulfill the requirement again. The difference between 188A and A2, B and C is you're not required to, with 188B and C, you're not required to operate a business, or you don't have to show that you've been operating a business overseas. You only have to demonstrate your investment history and investment skills. And when you come to Australia, you need to invest your funds in an approved manner. So if you want to learn again how you can invest, how you can benefit from this, let me know. Give us a call anytime, or send us an email. So we'll set up an one-on-one appointment with myself or one of our expert migration agents, so we can show you the pathway and get into the Australian, get you an opportunity to come and work in, expand your business. Also, this gives a good opportunity for people to explore the opportunities to expand your business from your overseas business into Australia, and that also gives you other opportunities to consider living here as well. So you can explore further opportunities, and there are no high tax rates if you did it this way as well. You'll be treated as an Australian resident for taxation purposes as much as I can. I'm not qualified to give you taxation advice, but to my knowledge, or to the extent that I know and my experience, you'll be treated as an Australian citizen for this, treated as an Australian citizen while you for taxation purposes while you're conducting businesses under 188A visa. So that's another good reason why you should consider 188A, 188B visas if you're in that sector. So I would it's taken quite a bit of time because it's been a while since we caught up last, and I would like to spend a little bit of time to see if you have any further questions about you might want to ask me. But before we go into this, I just want to remind you that we were in Sri Lanka last month, and it was a quite successful program. We were able to educate a lot of international, lot of students who are looking for opportunities to enroll into Australian courses, and we were able to offer them quite a few opportunities or scholarships while we were there as well. 25%, 30% throughout the course, which adds up to significant numbers. And we were also, after quite a few years, we were able to talk to people one-on-one and explain their pathways in person, and show them a lot of opportunities and pathways while we were there. So as a follow-up, we're going to be in Sri Lanka again on 24th of April. While we're there, we will have quite a few universities and institutes joining with us as well. University of Southern Queensland, one of the best universities, and also got highest number of engineering licenses from this university as well. They're going to be joining us for this session, and we're going to have a few other universities and institutes such as SSBT and JCU, and I think Torrance is joining us this time too. So either way, we will be bringing lots of scholarships and opportunities to you, and our local offices and also local staff should be able to help you further. If you like to have a one-on-one discussion with either one of us, I've got Miki Chabra, our head of educations, joining us too. So if you'd like to learn more about education pathways or business visa pathways, maybe come and give us a call through any of the following numbers, or send us an email to admin@sirus.com.au, so we can ensure that your appointment time is booked, so we can allocate you that time slot. So let's have a look at who's in the live chat. Sky, good to see you. Good to hear from you as well, Sky. Thanks for joining us again. We're doing well. Been traveling a lot, Sky, and internationally, interstate. It's all news. We were going past Singapore the other day. It was quite different to see. The airport was quite empty, but people are getting starting to move around a bit more now, so which is a good thing. New South Wales may open for. Question is, any news on New South Wales may open for offshore ICT, Bachelor of Art, Business Administration. Sorry, ICT Business Administration. You're welcome, and thanks for joining again, and take care to you too. I don't think there'll be major changes from states coming through within next 3 months, as in effective within next 10 weeks, because 1st of July is the new era, new financial year. So all these new changes will come up in close to 1st of July, and they will probably maybe start advising people that these are the changes coming in coming months. But I guess there are over 30,000 allocations that they have allocated through the budget for skill migration sector. So I hope the offshore migration will come online, so come alive. So there'll be lots of good news, Sky. I can't give you a definite answer. I'm really sorry, but I believe it'll be really good. Nitesh Ramanan, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name, surname wrong, Nitesh. I'm still studying my master's, and an employer is willing to sponsor me. Will I be able to convert my study to part-time, and will my study fee reduce? What is the process for employer sponsor visa? Very good question. You got few parts that I would like to address individually. Studying masters, very good. I hope you have you have work experience after your bachelor's degree. That will determine what visa can you apply after this. Working full-time, right now you can, but there might be changes coming in. International students can work full-time right now, but this is 7th of April 2022, but coming weeks there might be different changes. I'm not sure. Departments meant to review this full-time opportunity, temporary full-time opportunity, and then advise sometimes this month with changes. So right now you can work full-time, but solid pathway, if you have your relevant bachelor's degree and relevant work experience to the occupation that you have been nominated, or the employer would like to sponsor you under, then with 2 years you can apply for 482 visa. With 3 years work experience you can apply for 186 or ENS program, or if the employee is from regional area, you might want to consider 494 as well. But if you qualified for 186 with a skills assessment and 3 years work experience, you can apply for the permanent residency or the ENS work pathway. But remember, currently you can work full time, but if you were to study part time and work full time, you have to wait till your visa is granted. So unless if you're currently in a subclass 500 visa, you have to obey your current visa condition, which might mean that you're required to you have to be enrolled full time. When the visa is granted, then you can when the ENS visa or the 482 visa is granted, then you can study work full time, and it's optional for you to study part time or not study. It's up to you. But until you get the visa granted, you cannot go. You can work full time, but you have to be still enrolled as a full time student as well. So you need to be paying the full time fees. Later down the track, once you get your 482 or the 186 works visa, then if you were to study part time, of course you'll be paying the reduced fees, only applicable for those subjects that you are enrolled in. If you like to have a one-on-one discussion about this, Nitesh, feel free to contact us via any of the below contact numbers or email addresses. We can set up a one-on-one discussion with you. So it's been almost 4:30, and it's been almost, I'm not sure, an hour or so. So it's been wonderful to be in touch with you guys, and thank you very much for joining us after a month. And these are the current updates that I've had to share with you, and we look forward to talk to you again on Thursday, the first Thursday of next month in May. And until then, take care, have a nice weekend, and look forward to see you in May. Take care.